What's up? How are y'all tonight? Got something new in the enclosure, and I'm walking through the camera setup now. It's been a little irritating with the lighting and all, but I figured a couple of you guys might actually want to see what I had going on here. If I can get this camera to cooperate, we'll get it set up right quick. So let me continue to work on the camera here. I'll let you guys see the screen. I'm having some lighting issues, but I'll show you the screen what I'm working with here. Well, as soon as I get this part done, guys, I'll be able to sit down for a minute. But I'm in a hurry. I haven't used this machine. I'm going to share it with y'all. I've got the I've got the video of the assembly put together. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit finish here. That way I can home the machine and all that good stuff because I have been pushing it by hand around a lot. So we're just going to power cycle the machine for a second. All right. Get her homed, and then I'm going to finish setting this camera up, guys. Got the new Atomstack I've been waiting on. And it is as big as it's as big as the Acer. It's a little narrower, but I think it's going to work for me, guys. So let's get this camera calibrated right quick, and we're gonna make some smoke. So I did the first process. Now I just need to do the camera alignment. I think it's the second one. Yes, that is it. All right, so let's frame that out and see where that's going to go. Way too big. Way too big. All right, we stop that. Let me rehome the machine. So let's see, second one. All right, so what's it set at? Let's just do 100%. I know this thing will work with 100%. I got to speed the homing speed up on this thing. That's a long way to go at that rate. All right. Yeah, my framing speed is really, really low on this thing, so I'm gonna have to fix that because that's a big work area to be moving that slow in. All right, so we're gonna run the fill speed at 100. Well, actually, we better run it at about 200. Line speed 100. Power. Yeah, that'll work. So let this burn, and we'll be able to calibrate this camera. So what's up? Let me check up with the comments while I am waiting on this to complete. What's up, Mark Bingham? Hello, Robert, Michael, Brian, Tommy Glasscock. What up, Tommy? How are you, fella? That's one of my local people, guys. If you're ever in my area and need jewelry, he's the guy to go to. Moreland's Fine Jewelers on the corner of 2nd Avenue and 7th Street in Clanton, like a block down from my office. Let's see. Chuck, what's up in Florida? Philip, how are you over there in Tennessee? I'm having to keep an eye on this machine, guys. It's I see now we're gonna have to do some modifications to some of its speeds. Not sure why, but it's it's putting it in granny gear between cuts. Uh, yeah, we're gonna have to look at the controller settings on that. But so far it looks like it's gonna do a really good job though, and it could be this test too, something to do with it. Gillette, how are you there, sir? Just watched the L8 video. Yeah, it's not a bad machine. Not bad at all, especially for the price. What's up, Mark? Grandpa, how are you? Jimmy, hello. Florence, South Carolina. And Mr. Jack, of course. And David Allen. I still like that name. That's a good name. So I guess my audio and video is all working. Yeah, we're going to do something about that transit speed from place to place. I'm hoping that's simply something in this camera alignment. Maybe it's pulling from the framing speed, and the framing speed's just set way too low. Because it's like, literally, it's just like from spot to spot. It's not going to be acceptable. But even with those crazy speeds, guys, it's still marking it. I can't wait to show you. Next step, I get to show you what it looks like. But yeah, I got some kind of crud, guys. So if I start coughing and it sounds like I'm dying and I start spitting up stuff, I've got into something. I went and got 2 shots and some meds today, so hopefully that'll knock it out. But it's not been fun. I've got feels like somebody sandpapered the inside of my chest right here too. So I don't know what it is. Doctor said it could be COVID, it could be flu, it could be sinus infection, but treatment's the same. So that's what I got, and I got to come back home today. Didn't get to stay at work just in case I was contagious. Cats can't. I don't guess cats can catch flu from people. Yeah, James, I typically, this time of year in Alabama, I do typically get like bronchitis. So it could simply be that, but I haven't had a fever or anything, so I don't think it's anything to be concerned with. All right, so I'm gonna go over here and see what it looks like here. Capture an image. All right, now for you guys that's done this before, this is a simple game of connect the dots. All right, I'm gonna try to put this as close to the center as I can, but I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time messing around with it because, like I said, the camera's a tool and it's not an absolute. But I do like them to be close. It looks good. So just going 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof. All right, hang on. Y'all can't see what I'm doing. So going over to these little dots, it's like a connect 4 type situation. There you go, got that done. So hopefully that'll get my camera functional enough that I can use it. Second one down, update the overlay. All right. So guys, what I've got in there today is the Atomstack Z speed 100. Maybe I can set this frame speed. Well, frame speed don't need to be 200. That'll be a little crazy. What I've got is I've got the new Atomstack X40. It's a 40-watt module, but they sent me the max because when they asked me if I'd take it, I told them I would, but I needed the most powerful one they had. So I've got a video on putting it together and everything, but 30-watt cut test. Let's try the 30-watt cut test. I think it goes pretty high. Yeah, it goes to 20. So we'll see what that does. Frame this out. I'm just going to cut right over that little circle I put in the middle of the workspace with that calibration. Settings. Whoa. Why is it halfway on the screen? All right, so I've got the air assist turned on. 1 pass. So those are the 2 things that I want to make sure of because this does have automatic air. It's the first Atomstack that I've ever had that had auto air without a whole lot of engineering. So the text settings, why are the world are they doing that? All right, so we got the text at 100 millimeters a second, 80%. It's set to line, so we should be good. I don't think that'll start a fire. So here we go, guys. I'll get you over on the camera as soon as I can so you can see what happens here. Oh, it's not going to let me do the camera there. Hang on. I got a backup plan. All right, so it's working. Don't know how well that's going to work. Seriously, Steve. Seriously. No, I'm good. I'll keep the Atomstack. The air assist is working because I set it right here by the corner in the bottom of the box on the opposite side of the enclosure, kind of in the corner away from the work area and away from the exhaust. I'm going to run their air pump for a few days before I put a 24-volt relay in there. I do have another relay, but I've got to 3D print a holder for said relay. So it's doing the text. Like I said, I'm not real sure about the speeds this thing's running. May have to go look at the controller settings here in a minute and see if there's some tweaking we can do. Well, yeah, I forgot about that one, Steve. That does have automatic air assist. You made a liar out of me. I forgot about that little thing, but it's not this big though. So I wanted something with auto air to go in enclosure Zilla, and I like my Acer V36. Don't get me wrong; it served me well. But when Atomstack said, "Hey, would you like to try this out?" I was like, "Okay, all right." I mean, was I supposed to say no, Steve? I mean, after all the cool toys you've been getting. Yeah, Jack, he's trying to sell me on one of those. I've got a 65 millimeter spindle holder for that little CNC over there. And I'm thinking next time I go to Prattville, I may swing by and pick me up one to try out on it and see how it works. Oh, this thing's a beast, guys. This is only 3 millimeter plywood, but I've got it running some pretty high speeds, so we'll see. We'll see how it does. Steve Mark's asking if you've had any luck with the issues on the IKEA. You need me to send you a link, Steve, where you can jump in here, or are you busy? Oh yeah, it's a beast. It's a beast. I gotta get some thicker wood. Good old Luan. These little pieces, when I cut my sheets up, I wind up with a bunch of these little pieces kind of left over. So, I mean, they're not good for much. I mean, you can make ornaments and stuff like that with them, but I keep those for testing purposes. Looks like it's at 99% complete. So let's see. I'll have to cut that out so I ain't got to hold that whole sheet of plywood up. Yeah, Philip, that was one of the big things that I liked about it. Now, on another note, it did require me to do a lot more work because I had to move all my cabling and stuff down to this end of the enclosure, and I still haven't cleaned everything up on the bottom side. I got it presentable on the, above the deck, but below the deck it's a rat nest under there. I gotta get in there and fix that. One thing that I did find too with this machine, okay, that finished. So let me close this here, update my overlay, and you can see what it did. So yeah, there's the test file. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop a little cut line over this. And I'm gonna guess. Let me guess at this. I'm gonna say 25 will cut it. No, that's being very, very optimistic. Let's go with 20, because this is that cheap blue one. Let's see if I can cut it out with 20 millimeters a second. Where's my air assist indicator? Gonna be needing that. All right, let's see what happens. Sounds like it's cutting it. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible. I did have to pop another hole over here for the USB cable, because the USB cable that's ran around and comes up, that thing's almost built into the wall. So I just left it where it was in case I ever do need to put the P20 back in there, or the V35. and I ran another USB in from this side, so I had to pop a little hole in there to do that. 20 millimeters a second. I didn't see it drop. Let me go check it. Oh, opened it a little early. All right, so yeah, that was successful. The 20 millimeters though was pushing it on this hard stuff here. This isn't basswood. This is some like Luan that I really don't like. But when I did the sealant of my shop, I bought too much of it. So I was like, well, I wonder if I can laser it. And I could. So I have a lot of it. I use it a lot of times for zeroing my cameras and stuff because it's a little cheaper than what I usually use and I don't like it as much. So 17 millimeters a second, single pass, all the way up to 20, but 20 is kind of touch and go, guys. I would avoid 20. So we're going to keep that because I haven't done a video with this machine yet. You guys get to see the sneak peek, and you will see these again in the testing overall, what I think about it video. So let's put some material in here and see what we can do. All right, let me frame that little square. Make sure I got the focus high enough. Alright guys, I know some of y'all may have noticed that the cover is still on this laser. I promise you that is temporary until I fulfill my obligation with Atomstack. And that thing's coming off of there. So is that air assist pump. It's going on shop air as soon as I've dropped about 3 videos with this thing. So this is 2. Alright, so let me get up here and we'll do another material test and we'll do a 30 watt. I'm going to run the 30 watt test because I went really heavy with that thing when I built it. The top speed on this 30 watt test, let me show y'all what I'm doing. It's hard for me to do that. So the top speed on this is going to be 20 millimeters a second. And that proved to be pretty challenging on the 3 millimeter. So I think it will here as well. I did drop the focus to where it's supposed to be. So let me frame that out. Make sure I'm on my material. And it is material settings, air assist is on. So let's see what happens. Y'all can kind of observe over here, guys. I don't have a camera in that enclosure yet. I gotta work on that too. So as far as an observation camera. So here we go. But anyway, I do have the overhead camera kind of looking that way. So you can see it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to over there, and hopefully it's gonna run smooth because this is live, and hopefully it'll work. Mark, you would have to talk to Steve about that. I do know that Steve has had more than his share of frustration with that machine, and I don't think he's made any headway. Unlike, I will say this, I was starting to think I had got a hold to a lemon with the Jitbitsu machine, but I reached out to him last night in an email and was like, hey, you know, it keeps doing this, and I don't know what the problem is. I'm going to discontinue testing until y'all can come up with a fix. They asked me to, you know, to recreate the problem and send them the G code and all that for it. I did so, and lo and behold, sometime last night they sent me back an email and said they thought they had found the issue and had it corrected and sent me a fresh firmware. I installed the fresh firmware and I ran that thing all day today, and it didn't have any more issues. So I feel pretty good about that. The hardware was not the problem. It was misreading code or something causing the flame sensor to keep going off. But that thing's it's pretty good. I mean, it's not. Yeah, they know. This is an early tumbler, guys. You know, I'm even ashamed to show y'all the other side of this tumbler. This was my very first attempt at a DeWalt, and man, I jacked it up. I didn't run enough power to get everything off of it, and this was literally probably the first tumbler I ever did on a machine. And y'all hear me preach now, you know, get extra, do test, 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 test. That's why, because every time I drink out of this cup, I'm like, that is a terrible engrave. And that was before everybody started calling my place the Shack, and we changed the name. So, what, Steve? Well, Steve, I got the crud. I can't help it. I don't want to contaminate everybody. I actually went by Tommy's place to see him yesterday, and it's maybe a good thing I didn't if whatever this is contagious, because I didn't even know I had it then. But no, they don't pay me to drink out of it. I just, Tommy, look at this wall over here, bro. You see that? I wish they would pay me or give me a discount. That'd be nice. All right, it's still cutting. That's a big speed test I ran on it, but we'll see. We'll see what it does here in a second, guys. And I know somebody wants to see if I can cut like 3/4 pine, 2x4. Ain't that what they usually do with the big machines like this? It's generating a lot of smoke. I will tell y'all that. I think I'm gonna have to make sure my fan is cleaned. Carl, certain machines you can. The only machine that I've ever been able to run directly from Lightburn wirelessly was the Otour LM3. Every other machine, I mean, you can access the SD card on it. Like this one here works in AP mode, so you can connect to it and send files to it. So do most every machine in here. But as far as like being able to frame and home and move the machine, navigate it through Wi-Fi to Lightburn, there's only a few machines that can do that. So let me update this overlay, guys, so y'all can see what that one looks like. And I'm going to change this little line right here back into a cut and cut that out. Let me shrink that down a little bit. I don't know what I was thinking with that big old cut. So cuts and layers. I'm going to run 12. Let's back that down. Let's don't get greedy, guys, until we see the results. Let's go to 18. 18 millimeters a second. That's 3 times what the 20 watts run, typically. So we'll see if it cuts it at 18. Well, Jack, I've been working with my CNC the past few days. Oh, let me show you something. Because y'all know I'm trying to talk my wife into letting me get a bigger CNC, right? So I've been doing lots of CNC projects. That one is a CNC slash. Where's my camera? That one is a CNC slash laser project right there. And I think it turned out pretty well. Steve's knocking on my baby CNC. That is a pure CNC project. Now, Jack, don't look at these little tiny letters right here, Jack. Do not. I used a 15-degree V-bit, and I only set it for 1.5 millimeters, and somehow I managed to steal, when I sanded it, those little letters just fell off of there. So, but all in all, unless you know what you're looking at, I think they turned out pretty nice. All right, let's check on the results, guys. Trying to get all these little pieces out of here. It's a lot of them. All right, so I will say this for y'all guys that are really big on, oh, that machine's loud. That machine's loud. All right, it doesn't bother me. It's nowhere near as loud as a 13-inch planer or a DeWalt double sliding miter, but it is loud for a laser, no doubt. This piece of plywood is just not consistent at all. I got a little cray on my cut settings too. So let me try that again. We're going to go with 16 millimeters a second this time, guys. All right, so let me change this up to 16. It almost came through the backside, but it didn't. So we'll go with 16. Update my overlay. We'll try to lay this line right on top of that one. Let's see what kind of good job I did on calibrating that camera. Probably not that good of a job. All right, what we got on comments here? Oh, I'm keeping up. Steve, really? Hashtag baby CNC? That's just ridiculous, Steve. It hurts my heart. Let's see. You've got tomorrow afternoon off, Steve? Well, if I wake up in the morning still coughing up whatever this stuff is I'm coughing up and feeling like crud, I probably won't go to work either. I am, guys, under the influence of codeine cough medicine, cough syrup. So, no dancing tonight. Okay. I'm getting there, but I'm being too greedy with it. It got it, but it wasn't pretty. So, anyway, let's look at our results. Hey, I'm getting. I hear you. You got a alter ego on Twitch, Steve? Is that what that is? All right, so with the focus set on engrave, that's what I'm getting. And I've got the focus set to engrave because I still got the cover on that guy. And I guess I can crank it down to cut and see what difference it makes. So let me get my Sharpie. This is a very valuable pen when you're testing lasers. And I'm going to write engrave focus on here. Or actually, I'm just going to write, yeah, engrave focus. That's what that says, engrave focus. So now I'm going to get another piece of material, guys. And I'm going to go with Atomstack's recommended cut focus. Oh, here it is. If I could do a little better job of placing this one, I could probably get two of these things done. I'm going to turn that back to a tool line. Laser tools, material test. I'm going to go ahead and select the, I keep forgetting to swap y'all over, guys. 30 watt cut test here. And I'm going to go ahead and frame that so I can reset the focus on the machine to what they recommend for cutting. All right, guys, don't tell Atomstack, but that cover's got to go. That's way too close for comfort. All right, so frame again. I put it down in the bottom left corner of the material, so maybe I can get two passes, two cuts out of this. So there we go. Back to the camera. So Jack, you taking off tomorrow? Jack, I thought you were retired. You pulling our leg? I could have swore you were retired. But yeah, guys, all in all, I'm digging the look of this machine. I don't know if you saw the picture that I shared, but it's pretty awesome. Let me pull it up and I'll show it to you. The way this machine looks in there, and I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the thumbnail while I'm at it too. So there you go, guys. There's the thumbnail. All right. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I accidentally made that face when I picked it up. I don't know why, but I froze it in time. So yeah, but here's the setup. It's pretty clean. Notice the drag chains. All of those are stock equipment. It does have linear rails on the front. It has the switch. Ouch. I hope I do have it on 48 watts. I'm assuming down would be 48. Looks like that would be correct. Yes, I have it on 48. But yeah, it's pretty clean. I do got to make me a jig kit to put in here. These little brackets are for my stove covers. And I've also got to get me a stove cover cut or get my little test jig panel out and see if the stove covers are going to fit like I want them to. But yeah, that was that's what I was working on tonight. Carl, if you don't mind me asking, which Shapeco do you have? Because I am entertaining getting a Shapeco. The new, Shapeco 5 Pro is on my list. I would love to say that the X40 Pro is on my list, but I can't. I just can't make myself do it. That's way too much money for what I'm going to be using it for. I've looked at the Onefinity, and right now it's kind of a race between Onefinity and the Shapeco. So, are you saying I asked 2 questions, or you got 2 questions? I mean, you can ask 2 questions. That's cool. I do like the automatic air assist. Yeah, Michael, if you look at the price difference, I'm gonna be honest with you. Whatever I get, I'm probably gonna go ahead and go with a 4x4 because I mean, once you've spent that much money, what's another $300 to $600 if you have the space for it, of course. And that was Steve's philosophy, which I think Steve's just trying to price me out of getting one so he can keep calling my CNC's babies. But I'm trying to learn the basics, guys, before I go get one. Just watch this. Yeah, ET, that was just more or less my preliminary video. It's got like a little three position thing on the side of it. Not the easiest method, but it does work. It's got 3 little settings that you can turn it, and it has different length probes that stick down, and you just turn it until you get it to the appropriate length. And it has the measurements written on the side of the thing, but I'm gonna have to make me a cheat sheet for it because I can't ever remember. So looks like that one got finished. And let me get the screen back over here where you can see it. So now I'm just gonna move my little box there and try to whack this guy out with some clean edges. And we'll see. Let's see, what did I set this to? 16? You think it's gonna go 16? Let me cheat. We'll go 14 just to be on the safe side. I know I can see that 14 fell out, so we'll go 14 just to be safe. All right, here we go. And there's off to the races, guys. Yeah, Michael, I kind of want to get a spindle, but that's more money. And right now, I don't know if I want to spend that just yet until I start really turning out some production. I would like to have a spindle, but now if I get the Shapeco 5 Pro, it comes with, I think it's a 1.2, 1.3 kW spindle. So that is an option for like $750, which really isn't that much of an upgrade as far as price goes. So I'm considering that. That did drop, so let me go get it. All right, let's see how it did. Woo, good thing I didn't go 18. All right, not terrible. Not terrible at all. We're looking at 16 millimeters a second. It's dropping it. And guys, this is with the factory pump too. I haven't put my air assist on here and tuned it or none of that. This is the factory Atomstack air assist pump. It's working pretty well. I don't know that the velocity is quite where I want it because you see those little marks in the corners. Typically, when you see that, I'm not getting as much air velocity as I like. But, oh, Jeremy, I'm glad you got that, man. The Amazon sent me a thing and said it had been delayed because they attempted delivery. And I was like, okay, maybe he just wasn't there. So that's good that you got it because I was a little concerned that was going to turn into a fiasco. But for those of y'all that weren't here, anybody, the Christmas Eve live that me and Steve did, we gave away some equipment. Wound up, the choices were some of these high-speed, low-drag, dual machine glasses, a 6-inch VVOR fan, and a 500 by 500 Whizmaker uh, honeycomb. And two people wanted a honeycomb. One wanted a gift card. Oh, and a gift card. One wanted a gift card, and one wanted the fan, which was Jeremy there. So we got all those gifts awarded through Amazon, which I think is the best way to do it, so I don't have to try to ship nothing. But yeah, so that's going to be another one of our test pieces that we're going to be using later on. And really liking it so far. So let me see if this thing will do targeting. Oh, hang on, guys. Phew. On my stream, what hotkey? Oh yeah. Let me pull my Stream Deck software up, and I'll show you on the other screen here. So of course I've got my Lightburn controls on the last switch here. So I've got home, frame, rubber band frame, start, stop. You've got vertical alignment, horizontal alignment, center, move graphic to laser location, update overlay, rotary setup, and undo. Those are the ones that I seem to find myself needing the most. So, but yeah, that's what I've got set up on it now. And a lot of times too, especially like when I'm streaming, I can't necessarily use it because I use it for the stream to do all my stuff there. Well, thank you, Brian. Ew. Not fun. Not fun at all. Let's get back to Lightburn. I'm going to show you this, guys. All right, so let me get this out of the workspace and update the overlay. Like I said, y'all saw I calibrated the camera a little while ago. And it's doing a decent job enough for what I use it for. There's me a little 20 by 20 circle. I'll set that to 14 and go run that right quick and just show you as far as alignment, how well it works with this machine. And this is the fisheye cameras that I purchased from Amazon. Update the overlay. All right. And I'm going to turn this layer off so y'all can see where the line is. But there you go. All right, that's in a 48-inch box, guys. That's in my enclosure Zilla. Now, I will tell you, it works best, as with any camera, in the middle of the workspace. This middle, I'd say the middle 50% of the work area. You start getting out here, it's not as accurate, but it's still, you can see that's pretty dang close. So people ask me all the time about my cameras, and we'll move this thing up here and do it again just to show you. All right, let me update that overlay. And I'm going to move this little circle to right there and burn it again. All right, now the machine's out of the way. I'm going to update the overlay. And I'm going to turn this layer off to be able to see it probably. Well, did I update the overlay? Okay, I know it updated that time. All right, let me make sure I even put it. Yeah, it's on there. I don't know why you can't see it. Let me turn the lights down. There we go. Lights were too high. So as you can see, when you get over here, it's not as accurate. So anybody that tells you that their camera is 100% accurate, I'd like for them to show me. I haven't found one yet that is. I spent a lot of money going through different cameras. So anyway, guys, that's some of you had mentioned wanting to see the machine, and that is it in its glory. It is a beast, and I'm hoping that it's able to do the stove covers. It looks like it's going to be. I'll just have to kind of slide them in there and then drop them down. But I've got it positioned the best position I think that I can. I just got to build me a little jig kit for it and everything. Let me see if I can get this other camera to show you guys. But yeah, this is a lot better because the controls and stuff are here. If I need to hit the E-stop, which I got to get inside the enclosure to do it, but I can just slap that button. Now, technically, guys, I've thought about if it wasn't attached to the leg, I could have mounted that on the outside right here. But we're not going to go to dissecting the machine. I'm just going to leave it like it is. So, works pretty well. I should probably just put me an E-stop on my overall power out here, but never really needed it. So let me turn this off right quick. Oh, I did not mute that. Sorry guys, I tried to mute that before I did all that hacking. But yeah, guys, if you hadn't already, drop down there and hit me a little thumbs up, please. And like I said, I just wanted to share with you guys. I will have the video coming out tomorrow of the assembly of the machine. And if you've ever put an Atomstack, a longer Sculpt Fun, or any of the machines together, it's very similar. This machine wasn't like they reinvented the assembly process or anything with it. But it's good so far. Oh, hang on. Let me, I missed some comments up here, I think. Okay, here we go. There's one. Same as the quarter-inch drawer bottom, cabinet's back. I don't know about the same as. It is just when I go to my local store, I just tell them I want quarter-inch Luan. It does not have a sticker. It does not have a label. And sometimes they'll have one type, which is this stuff here. Now, I think this is probably more like what's in drawer bottoms because this stuff's a lot harder than the stuff I usually get. And you can tell it by when I thump it. So you got a lot sharper sound on that. This is a lot tougher. This is probably it. But I mean, this would work too. It's pretty sturdy. I don't know what it's made out of, but it works. And as long as it works, I continue to get it. Now I have used stuff from Home Depot and places like that as well. And most of that works as well. Uh-oh, hang on, guys. I hope that medicine's working. But yeah, Jeremy's got a question about a rotary. Is there a way to display rotary preview? Well, Jeremy, the trick with rotary preview, I don't know that I would say that there's necessarily a rotary preview function. I mean, maybe there is. I've never tried. But if you will take, let me find something. Hang on. All right. So if you'll take whatever you're trying to do, all right, what you want to do is figure out if you had a piece of tape, how big would it need to be to go all the way around it and touch? And the way that you will do that, and I'm not a science guy, the rotary tool gives you the ability to do that, is you measure your item, which this one is 19.31. Let's remember that, guys, 19.31. So I'm going to move you down to the screen. So when you go in here, if you put in the object diameter as 19.31, it's going to tell you. This is a just cheat, easy way to cheat. You ain't got to remember the big long number for pi other than just 3.14. So then what you can do is come in here, copy that number, all right? And then when you're laying your design out, let me get that comment down so we can see what we're doing here. So when you're laying your design out, you're just going to draw a box. When you draw that box, the height in this case, I'm having to get used to being this way now because my other machine was that way. The height is going to be whatever that number was for the circumference, perimeter, whatever, depending on whose software it is. So when you do that, then when you engrave it, as long as whatever you're engraving fits between here and here, if you do it right, and one way to do it is wrap it with green painter's tape and run about 5% power or 3% power, and it'll leave a mark on green painter's tape. And make sure when you draw this square that this line and that line overlap. If those two lines overlap, then you have completely created a file that is going to wrap that item. And that's how you do that with tumblers or anything else. That's how you calculate how big your work surface is going to be. And of course, if you've got a limited flat surface here, you're going to need to change this based on, like with this piece here, it's kind of wide, so you would have to figure out the length from here to here and set that as your width. So if we were doing this in reality, this would be 112 millimeters. So what you would do is come over here to your width and set that as 112. Make sure you got the unlock turned off. And now that right there would make a complete wrap around every inch of this material surface. So that's how you do it with tumblers, as long as you have a flat area. Yeah, Aaron, it's not been fun so far. I don't think it's the flu because I haven't had a fever, but oh my gosh, it's like a really bad case of bronchitis, I think. Dennis, yes, that machine does look like a lot like the other, but I mean, there's some quality differences. I'm not gonna lie. The Lasermatic, it has a lot more. It's a lot more rigid as far as the enclosure part goes, and it has the pins that stick up that hold the honeycomb and allows for area below for the laser and for the crumb tray and everything. So I mean, there are some major differences, but if you can't swing that, or if you got a problem with it, or if you're one of these countries where you can't get, because I know some countries you can't get certain machines, it is definitely probably the most similar option I have seen on the market, but it's still not quite the build quality of the Rotary. It's just not. I mean, it's a good machine, and it would be great for somebody that just wanted a secondary machine or just getting into it, or whatever. But it's not quite on the same level as the Rotary, in my opinion, as far as the overall construction. The Rotary's exterior is a lot sturdier, which, as long as cats don't jump on top of it, the other one would have been fine probably. But anyway, guys, that's all it was. I was just, a couple of folks had reached out to me and was like, hey, are you going to at least show the machine? And since I dropped that one video today, I haven't got around to editing the other one for this machine completely. And in that video, I never got a chance to fire it up. So I wanted you guys, the guys that watch, the guys that tune into the lives, to be the first to get to see it to work. And hopefully it'll earn its keep and get to stay in the enclosure. Oh, so Carl, you got the 4XXL, and it's still in all the shipping boxes. That's not good. Well, need to get after it, Carl. And get that put together. Well, I'm looking at several different ones. I really don't know which way I'm going to go yet. It's kind of like, I don't know, picking out a house, I guess. Because I know no matter which one I buy, there's going to be something about it that I'm not going to like, and there's going to be something about the other ones that I will like. and I wish I could kind of take pieces of each machine and like put them together into one, but I can't. So I just got to pick one, and it's a lot of money to be spending on a machine, and not knowing. I wish I could go somewhere and like test drive them. That would be awesome. But there's not a place like that. Maybe one day. Maybe one day the Clack Shack will be to the point to where you can come test drive equipment and see if you like it. Yeah, Jeremy, you got the Elite. Yeah, Steve's trying to push me that way, and I'm not against it. But I also, you got to look at it this way too, from a content creation standpoint. Like everybody's doing content with the Elites, and I don't know that anybody would want to see me showing them how to do stuff on an Elite. Uh, there's a lot of guys out there that are a lot better at that stuff than I am. So if I plan on doing any content with it, it would probably be better if it was something that wasn't quite as crowded of a market as far as the content goes. Because I enjoy doing it, but it would get kind of depressing if I made videos about stuff and like 10 people watched it, because that would probably just be my family, and that would get annoying after a while. So I enjoy making the videos, but I also kind of like it when people watch them and give me likes and thumbs up. So don't forget about that. You know, my little sign back here says. But yeah, this past weekend, guys, I did get out to the meal too. That was awesome. Or I say this weekend, it was a long extended holiday. I got out to the meal and got to run it for a little while. Hadn't done that in any significant amount, probably close to a year. Okay, between Jack and Steve, maybe I'd have 12 people watch. So we'll have to figure it out. Like I said, I'm waiting to the right time. I've got to get past the tax season, guys. Y'all know how that is. Uncle Sam's going to be having his hand run off in my pocket here in a few months, and I don't know that I have the free money right now. I mean, I may, or Uncle Sam may take it all. So for now, I'm just going to have to settle my thumbs, do my research, try to make the best decision that I can, so that when I do get the chance or get the money and see how bad Uncle Sam's going to pickpocket me, that I can order it. And if I get the Onefinity, then I'll have to wait 7 to 10 weeks, right? So if I get the Shaper Coat, I'll have to wait like 7 to 10 days or 25 days. So it just depends. Oh, well, Midnight, I appreciate you. Thank you, sir, ma'am. Midnight Sun Work. Okay, that can go either way. Ma'am, sir, thank you. Appreciate it. I hope that actually made a noise. I'm going to turn my Lightburn off where I can see my video and audio outputs up on the top screen like I normally can. All right, so move that down. But yeah, I try to make the video. Okay, sir. All right, thank you. I'll try to remember that, but I can't promise I will. You know how that goes. Sometimes there's just so much going through my head in a day that the small things like names, I forget them. I don't know. I can remember faces, can't remember names. But I try to keep, hang on. Ew. I try to keep the content to where most of you can pain through watching it at least. I do enjoy it, guys. And you know, a lot of people ask me all the time, why'd you start a YouTube channel? I'm like, I really didn't. I started a sawmill. I started laser engraving. I shared some videos, and then boom, I had a YouTube channel. It wasn't like I sought out to do it. So I'm going to lay this over here too. Sorry, guys. Squirrel, OCD. I realized that I had one over here. But yeah, but Steve, if I do get the one thing that I have thought about, if I do get a Onefinity and I get the Elite, Steve's wife's going to be mad at me. And I know it's coming, because if I get let's say I go and I buy me the Elite Foreman 4-foot by 4-foot with the Masso controller, you know, the X probe, all the bells and whistles, then Steve's wife's gonna get angry, because I know him. He's gonna wind up getting one, and when he does, it's liable to get him divorced. So I'm trying to take care of my buddy. I'm trying to take care of Steve. But well, thank you, Dennis. Appreciate you. I don't think I have clappy claps, but I do have I do have that. I need to get some clapping. I need to add that to the list of things to add to my machine. It is working, right? Yeah, it's working. But I really do appreciate that. Oh, like I said, y'all don't know how many years I have spent with with dealing with people and doing some of the stuff that you have to do in my day job, and never dreamed I'd be doing this one day. But you said she'd be cool with it, Steve. Okay, don't blame it on me because I know how you are. You got a habit of blaming stuff on me. Just, which I can't say anything. I blame stuff on you too, Steve. I tell Brandy all the time, if I do buy a CNC, a big CNC right now, it's going to be your fault. But on a good note, she did come out here tonight with a project idea that can only be done on a big CNC. So I'm not sure if that was like the green light to go ahead and order it, or if that was just her trying to be sympathetic of my wants. I'm having to process that because y'all guys, you know how it is. Any of you that's been married for a long time or several times, uh, it can be quite challenging trying to interpret what they want sometimes. But I did go see my friend Tommy up at Morelands for Christmas, and I done pretty good on a Christmas present this year, guys. It didn't come from the hardware store or Walmart, so that was, or Amazon, I guess. That was good. Which now, in her defense, last year she told me she liked my leaf blower and wanted one, so that was her fault. My day job. Well, currently my day job is not what my day job used to be. Currently, I am an administrator at a police department. So I spend most of my days whacking keys on a keyboard, dealing with lawsuits because everybody likes to sue for, random stuff. And I can't really, I don't want to go too big of a rabbit hole on that, but people like to sue just to see if they can get money. And so I do a lot of work with that. Policies, procedures, payroll, requisitions, helping with, figuring out strategies, that kind of thing. Now, over the years, I've did everything from K9 to investigations, internet crimes against children, computer forensics, IT management, social media management for the police department, as well as SWAT, sniper, K9, the whole 9 yards. I've pretty much done everything you can do in law enforcement without going to jail. So, so yes, my day job is not, but I'm down to 20 months, guys, 20 months. So I'm trying to just continue for a few more months, and then after 20 months, I'm going to evaluate it. And if I think it's doable to just work for myself here in the shack, that's what I plan to do. I'm going to retire, draw my check, and hopefully the shack can support me until I get old enough to draw like Social Security to kind of help out or whatever. But we'll see how that goes. That's the plan. So keep your fingers crossed and hit the buttons. Yeah, if that helps, because the bigger the channel can get, the more I can actually get it to where it's a feasible, secondary income to help with the retirement. The quicker I can retire and just do this all day. That's the plan. But guys, it's almost been an hour. I wasn't planning on really doing a live tonight, but several of you guys were interested in the machine. A couple people messaged me and asked me if I was going to at least throw a live up and show you guys what the machine is. So that's what I did. I love it. Well, Martin, I'll put it to you this way. It is my hobby, but I've got so many that there's no danger because I can literally, between the sawmill, building things, making projects, lasers, CNC, honeybees, weapons training, hunting, fishing, I'm good. As long as you don't mind getting brought along occasionally for some non-laser related stuff, I can still make videos of that, or I can spin me up a outdoor, all the other crap channel. My wife is, hopefully I'm going to be able to talk her into, retiring with me eventually, and we'll be able to kind of work together. But I really enjoy it, and that's what everybody always says. If you find something that you enjoy, you never work a day in your life. And law enforcement's been that for me for a really, really long time, but it's been almost 25 years, and the job's not as fun as it used to be. I'll just put it that way. So I think it's time for me to, switch gears here soon. And so that's what I plan on doing. But yeah, no, I will always mix it up enough to where I don't get bored with it. And I enjoy interacting with you guys. Whew. But I'm gonna get off here so I can go like blow my nose, take some more cough medicine, and get some sleep, and hope that when I wake up in the morning I feel renewed. Uh, but yeah. But anyway, guys, like I said, this wasn't anything planned. This wasn't anything official. I hope I didn't interrupt anything, but I appreciate you stopping by. I'm enjoying the new Atomstack so far. I can see some tweaks and some of the speeds and stuff like that. So I'm gonna play around with that, and hopefully my next video will be a more thorough. Okay, I've been using it for a week review, because the one I did today was basically just getting it out of the box, putting it together, getting it in Lightburn, and that was it. Because it just I didn't have an enclosure that I could put around the thing. It's massive. But if you hadn't already, guys, hit the subscribe button. And if you're new to my channel or any of my lives or whatever, also go check out my buddy Steve's channel. You can just go down and look at my lives. There's links for Steve's stuff. Me and Steve work together on a lot of stuff. Steve is my inspiration some days, and don't twist that, guys. Not like, he just inspires me to keep going, because sometimes, you think, okay, nobody wants to see this. And then, he's like, put it out. It seems pretty interesting. So, we kind of feed off of each other and support each other's channels. So if you're from my channel and you don't subscribe to Steve, run over there and hit that button. We're trying to increase his stretch goal before the new year, because we got 2 days left before the new year. And I am hoping, I was actually hoping in the beginning, guys, that I would reach 20K. I hit 20K, and now I'm not too far from 22K. So, never undersell yourself. So, hopefully I can at least get 22K within the first few weeks of 2024. But yeah, good times, guys. Appreciate you. Y'all come up with your sales pitch for, why I should pick one CNC or the other. I see a lot of guys who are talking about it. Hopefully I will get it feeling better, because like right now it feels like my nose is fixing to start running, and I don't really want to see y'all see me with like stuff running down my face. So be safe, and have a good night, guys.